Recently, we built an amazing TV wall with all kinds of cool features out of the lake house. And in the process, I realized that our coffee table was actually an old bench that we found in the house during construction. Today, we're gonna be fixing that by building 3 tables that were inspired by Pottery Barn designs, and we're gonna be saving a ton of money in the process. All right, let's get started. All right, so the 3 Pottery Barn tables are essentially different heights and different diameters. That way they kind of nest together, and you could take the larger table and the medium-sized table and nest those together as the coffee table. And then we'll use the smaller one that matches as an end table. They've got 32, 22, and 16 inches in diameter. The issue is I ended up going with pre-made wood tabletops. So they did cost a little bit extra, but they also did not have those dimensions. So we went with 36, 24, and 15. Basically, these are 16 inches high is the lowest one, and then 20 and 24. Basically, I put together an entire design for all 3 tables. And honestly, I think I ended up using 3 5/4 inch by 4 pine boards, and then 4 of these tops. The 4th top is a duplicate of the largest table, and that one's gonna get cut down into concentric circles that are slightly smaller than the diameter for each tabletop. And essentially, this is gonna be the top of our base so that we can mount the base to the top itself. All of this lumber came in at $179.10. So let's get started cutting down that one top into 3 different circles that are, again, slightly smaller than the 3 tops that we need. All right, let's go. Okay, so like I said, these are gonna be the 3 tops. This one I need to cut into circles for each of the tops that is slightly smaller than the top itself. This is gonna be the top of the base. Now, what I'm gonna do for this is I'm gonna do it with a jigsaw. So first we're gonna create a template, and that way we can mark out these nice perfect circles. So I made a mark at right here, kind of in the beginning. That's where my nail is gonna go into the center of the circle. The smallest top of the base needs to be a 7-inch radius because it's a 15-inch top. We wanna make a 14-inch circle, so we've got a little bit of step back. So we're gonna make a 7-inch radius, which will give us a 14-inch diameter circle. The next one's 24. We want that to be 23, so we'll go with 11.5. And then the last one is 36. We want that to be 35, so the radius would be half that, which is 17.5. And then basically I'll just screw or drill pilot holes at each of these locations. Try not to screw through my workbench or drill through my workbench. Okay, so there is our template. That's where our screw is gonna go. All right, so now we have to basically strip all the plastic off of this guy and find the center where we're going to mount this thing. Well, this is not exactly 36, but nevertheless, we are going to try and find center on this. All right, now we gotta do some math. It's more like 5.5 to be honest. So that would be 18, 17 and 3/4. And this doesn't have to be perfect because again, we're gonna be cutting a circle out of this. All right, that's close enough. All right, so we've got our reference point here. We'll just get our hole started. We are off. So I think we need to come this way a little bit. Oh, are you filming? Okay, so the first circle is basically just going to be cutting off that rounded over edge. So again, this is not perfectly centered in the circle, but it's close enough. And like I said, we're just going to be cutting off the excess, so it shouldn't matter. All right, this will be the second one and the smallest one.
Want to know what the problem? The mechanical pencil.
I like my mechanical pencils. We got our circles. Now, we're just gonna cut these circles out. We're gonna drill some holes so that we can get our jigsaw in there to cut those circles out. And yeah, on to the next step. So typically in the shop, I just wear a plain old t-shirt, but recently I got sent from Poncho Outdoors a bunch of their different shirts, and I absolutely love them. Not only do they look awesome, but they're lightweight, breathable, and they stretch. So it's gonna be perfect for dressing up and going out, or working around the shop, or playing outdoors. They've added a bunch of really cool details to their shirts, and the one I've got on now is the Western version. I actually love the pearl snaps, but it's also got a built-in sunglass cleaner and collar snaps, so your collar's not gonna flop around. But if this shirt's not for you, they've got a bunch of different options, including their flannels, as well as a denim shirt. They also offer different fits in each size, including regular, slim fit, and a way to size for taller people. I went with the slim fit, which is not like a skinny jean slim fit. It's more like just a nice little tailored fit, and it worked out perfectly. If you want to learn more about Poncho, make sure you check them out at ponchooutdoors.com. All right, let's get back to the build. All right, so now I'm gonna switch gears from the top and start to work on the base. For that, I'm gonna be using those 5/4 boards, which are actually 1 inch thick, which is perfect because it matches the thickness of the top and the rest of the project. Anyway, we've got to cut the legs, which are going to be 15 inches long, and then the cross members for the bottom of the base, which are gonna be 16.5 inches long, but those are gonna have a point on them. You'll see what I mean once I get done. Let me just start cutting some wood. So like I said, there needs to be a point on this board, and basically we need to cut two 30-degree cuts that come to this point. So I'm going to measure, find the middle of this board, which should be 1 3/4, good. All right, and then we'll set this miter saw to, what did I say, 30 degrees? Yeah, and then I'm gonna make this cut right here from that surface first, from that mark that I made. Repeat the process 2 more times. Essentially, we've created a 3-sided, whatever you call it, base, a 3-legged base. So that's what we were doing with those 30-degree angles. And now we've got the legs that will come up to the tops that we cut out earlier. So the legs are these guys, and they will go like this. But what we want to do to match the Pottery Barn design is actually kind of cut a little, I don't know what you call it, but a little radius there at the bottom, have it come up and do the same thing and return into the top. So we'll mark that out, cut that out with a jigsaw, fine tune it with a sander. Basically, we're going to be cutting out this area right here, but we need a 3/4 inch radius here. So I'm gonna see if I can find something that's 1.5 inches in diameter, and we can kind of mark that little radius. So I've come up with an idea. Rather than cutting out the radius with a jigsaw, which I think can get a little hairy, I'm going to be using this 1.5 inch Forstner bit. This will give us nice clean radiuses. The problem that I was thinking initially was like, how do you cut that radius right on the edge? But what I've come up with is that if we can clamp these boards together, I can cut both on each board at the same time. So that's what we're gonna do. We just need to come down, whoa. We are going to, from the line here, we'll come down 3/4 inch, which will be where our Forstner bit needs to go. Yeah, perfect. Look at that. Okay, so when it comes to the base, we've got all of our legs cut out and they actually look pretty good. Some look better than others, but I'm okay with that. But now we've got this three-way bottom of the base. This is gonna be what's gonna rest on the floor, and we need to fasten this all together. I'm gonna do that with pocket hole screws. So I've already kind of gone ahead and drawn arrows where I need my pocket hole screws, but basically we've got 3 on each end of the boards to attach to the legs themselves. And then we need to kind of go around this joint right here and attach that all together. So I'm gonna drill those now and we'll see where we end up. Oh, time for a new battery. So basically, if any of these joints don't come together perfectly, which this one was not perfect, I just kind of rub some wood glue into the crack, and then once I sand over the whole thing, it'll kind of fill those gaps. Good enough for who it's for. Okay, so I've got this upside down, and essentially this is our base, and we need to attach it to the ring. But what I'm gonna do, rather than just screwing it into the ring, is I'm actually going to recess these pieces into the ring, because that's how the Pottery Barn table is. So we'll just simply kind of go around here and mark the edges of these boards in their location, which is nice because now I don't have to lay out a location by hand trying to figure out where exactly all these pieces go. Now I know that these legs are a little bit kind of tilted in, so I've just got to kind of slide these around a little bit and just trace out exactly where these need to go. So we'll do that, and then we'll come back and we'll cut everything out with a jigsaw, and we should be able to drill some pocket holes in this top ring and attach to the legs and be good to move on. right, so we got the tables in their final setting, and honestly, they turned out great. This was a really fun project to build, and just a different one. And the bonus is we got 3 tables out of 1 project. So those will all 3 be in the plans. You can click on the link in the description or scan the QR code somewhere around here. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and until next time, be safe and happy building.